This is KGW News at noon.
Vancouver police think they've found the people responsible for snatching multiple purses over the last few weeks. Two 14-year-old boys, 14, are now in custody. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. The latest incident happened on the Vancouver waterfront just outside a coffee shop. A woman told police someone stole her purse from a chair where she was sitting and then took off in a car. Police found the teenagers in that car at East Mill Plain Boulevard and C Street. Vancouver police say the suspect description and the crime matched what they've been seeing recently. We talked with one woman just last week who had the same thing happen to her. She asked us not to show her face, but she says she was sitting outside at one of the restaurants on Vancouver's waterfront when a car pulled up and a young man jumped out and approached her table.
Said, "Excuse me, ma'am," and then reached over and grabbed my purse. As he was attempting to flee with it, I got a hand on it, but he got the better of me and jumped in that same car that I'd seen before, and they took off.
She says the thief racked up a $2,000 bill on her credit card. Vancouver police are looking to see if this case is connected to the other one. They say additional charges are pending. Now to Newburgh, where the debate over controversial flags in schools continues. KGW's Mike Benner has been following this story for weeks. He went back there last night and people told him they're worried things will get worse before they get better.
Rush hour in Newburgh. Dozens descend on the intersection of Highway 99 and South River Street to rally against hate.
We need to lift each other up. Everybody, you know. There's so much already that is hurtful in this world. We need to just be good to one another.
Nobody in this crowd will argue that. They brought along Black Lives Matter and pride, flags, and signs to show love.
They are our community, they are our friends and neighbors and brothers and sisters, and everybody has to feel welcome.
Newburgh can be better. I think this showing proves that all that we endured this week, this community is better than that.
Ty Hardin Moore is referring to the Mabel Rush Elementary School staffer who showed up to work in blackface. That came to light this week. Last week, we learned that some Newburgh High School students participated in a Snapchat group chat called Slave Trade, where they joked about buying black classmates. And earlier this summer, a school board director suggested banning BLM and pride symbols in district buildings, a policy that has since been altered to images that depict support or opposition relating to a political, quasi-political, or controversial topic.
Schools should be places of learning, not ideological petri dishes for indoctrination.
At a virtual public meeting Wednesday night, facilitated by the Oregon School Boards Association, plenty of people voiced their support for banning what are believed to be political symbols in the classroom.
While some students may feel validated by the presence of a political agenda in the classroom, there will always be others who are marginalized by that agenda. We cannot allow our school system to normalize the marginalization of groups of children.
We heard from others who are disgusted by the actions of the board members who want these symbols to disappear.
The consequences of your actions will be on your hands. The blood of my peers will be on your hands.
BLM and pride flags create a safe environment for students and make them feel like valued members of our community.
A sentiment echoed by those who gathered in downtown Newburgh Wednesday evening. The fear amongst this crowd, though, is this.
I think it'll get worse before it gets better, but it has to get better. How long can any community tolerate this kind of division? You know, it just kind of self-destructs.
Clearly, Newburgh is a city divided. We can tell you that the school board will meet again early next week, and we'll, of course, stay on top of the story. I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
During the pandemic, more families became interested in online charter schools. But there's a long-standing rule in Oregon preventing some of them from having a choice. It's called the 3% rule. It caps the percentage of students who can leave a district and go to a virtual public charter school. Some districts enforce that rule, others don't, and it's putting more stress on families who want the option.
They were very direct in basically telling me that they're not going to let my kids go. It was like they're a number and they need to keep their numbers.
Frank Travis has 3 daughters. He says eventually he was able to get them enrolled at Oregon Charter Academy. So we asked the Academy how many families have inquired, and they told us hundreds. They hope state lawmakers will reevaluate and update that rule. Well, about 24,000 people who work for the state of Oregon will get an extra 6 weeks to get their COVID shot. The Service Employees International Union 503 cut a deal with the governor's office, pushing back the deadline until November 30th. That October 18th deadline does still apply to teachers and healthcare workers. Well, there's a different deadline Oregon drivers need to know about. If you have let your license or your registration expire, the DMV's grace period for citations is about to expire. The grace period started because the DMV closed when the pandemic hit. Now it's back open, and officials say they've almost eliminated all the backlog of work they had. So they're urging drivers to take care of business by December 31st.
The odds that we can get you in and out without an appointment are increasing day by day. So be prepared for your next visit, and maybe on your next errand, drop by the local DMV and see if we can work you in for standby service right then and there.
Right now, the Oregon DMV estimates there are at least 100,000 outstanding transactions for licenses and registrations. If you wait, it can cost you hundreds. The ticket for an expired license is $265, and expired registration will cost you $115. Well, as of today, there are no more campfire restrictions in the Mount Hood National Forest. The ban was put in place over the summer when things were really dry, but the recent rain we had means this is no longer necessary. That being said, though, officials are warning that vegetation is still dry and people do need to be careful around their campfires.